WCBI News at 10 starts now.
Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Scott Martin. The state's religious accommodations law will not be considered by the United States Supreme Court. You may remember the controversial law didn't take effect until last October because it's been caught up in the courts since 2016. Various groups today calling this law things like state-sanctioned discrimination. Courtney Ann Jackson spoke with some of the plaintiffs about what's next.
Opponents say the fight isn't over, but one of the legal routes is at a stopping point for now.
No court yet has ruled on whether the law itself is discriminatory. The ruling that we have is just that someone needs to actually be overtly discriminated against before they'll get to that question.
That's why you may see graphics like these circulating on social media asking people to call Lambda Legal or the Mississippi Center for Justice if they've been discriminated against. But plaintiff Brandalyn Mangum Deer says the news from the Supreme Court has just angered her.
I can't bring myself to say to my community, it's okay guys, don't give up. You know, as soon as someone's harmed by this bill, we're going to knock on the court's door again, so be encouraged. I think that adds insult to injury. So today I'm just mad.
Governor Phil Bryant responded to the decision with this statement. As I have said from the beginning, this law was democratically enacted and is perfectly constitutional. The people of Mississippi have the right to ensure that all of our citizens are free to peacefully live and work without fear of being punished for their sincerely held religious beliefs. As a reminder, the law was designed to protect three specific religious beliefs: that marriage is between a man and woman, no sex outside such marriage, and a person's gender is determined at birth.
At this time, the courts aren't intervening because there's not a specific case of someone being discriminated against where the law is cited. After just over 6 years on the job, Mississippi University for Women President Dr. Jim Borsig is stepping down. Borsig made the announcement at this morning's spring faculty and staff convocation. Borsig says he's not retiring, but refocusing and ready to do some other things. He came to the W in November 2011, and his tenure has been marked by the return of athletics and improved university alumni relations. He leaves at the end of June. Time now to get a first look at our dreary forecast tonight with Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson. Hey there, Keith.
Hey, Scott, right now we still have some light rain in the region, misty and murky out there. Current temperatures in the mid-40s. We have not budged at all, maybe a degree or so in some spots here, but we are holding steady. A little bit of light rain still on radar. Some spots farther northwest still seeing a little bit of that light drizzle too. The biggest rain now shifting to our east into central Alabama, Georgia, Florida. But for us, we have a lot of low clouds, and those low clouds will stay with us all night long, and it looks like they'll be with us during the day tomorrow. Staying cloudy, back into the 50s, so even with the clouds, I think we are a little bit warmer tomorrow, and there could be some light showers, maybe a patch of drizzle or two. It's got the full forecast in just a few minutes.
3 shots and over $2,000 later, West Point PD now searching for an armed robbery suspect. Yesterday, police responded to an armed robbery at the Internet Cafe on Highway 50 West. According to eyewitnesses, the suspect entered the building, firing 3 shots into the ceiling, then demanded money. After the clerk fled the building, the suspect then stole over $2,000 in cash. He's described as a black male wearing a black Adidas hoodie with stripes on both sleeves and a face mask. After leaving the cafe, the suspect ran north on Old White Road and got into a vehicle. If you have any information, contact West Point PD. That number is 662-494-1244. Tishomingo County deputies seized narcotics, handguns, and a pile of cash during an arrest. Dustin Leatherwood of Corinth and Kimmick McGee of Boonville were stopped on Beecham Road in Iuka for erratic driving last Friday. Deputies searched the vehicle after a strong odor of marijuana was detected. The search turned up alleged marijuana along with 2 pistols. Once at the jail, the suspects were reportedly found to be carrying more marijuana and methamphetamine as well. Both suspects were charged with introduction of narcotics to a correctional facility. McGee was additionally charged with felony possession, tampering with evidence, and possession of a firearm by a felon. The 2 suspects were out of bond from other counties. A Pontotoc County family says their legal fight is not over after a grand jury declines for the second time to indict a driver who struck and killed 7-year-old Amaya Braxton as she was getting off her school bus back in October of 2016. Attorney John Weddle met with the Braxton family this morning, informing them of the grand jury's decision. The case has stirred strong emotions from family members of the young girl and the community after the first grand jury declined to indict the driver last September. Family members started a petition drive asking the DA to represent the case with new eyewitnesses. They also asked him to highlight Nathan's Law, which makes it a misdemeanor to pass a stopped school bus and upgrades the charge to a felony if someone is injured or killed. The family's spokesman says there are several legal options still on the table.
We plan to appeal our case to the State Attorney General's office to find out if they would be willing to represent the case. We also plan to conduct a private investigation, and possibly we could get the results of that, and a circuit judge could appoint a special prosecutor.
Late this afternoon, the family announced plans to pursue a civil lawsuit against the driver. An update tonight on the Monroe County man involved in a train wreck in Pickens County. Sources tell WCBI Tony Coxey has been moved to a step-down room at UAB Hospital, meaning he can now receive visitors. Coxey was one of 4 people injured in the head-on collision that took place December 29th. Much of the area has been hit hard by the flu this winter, and with students starting class after a long holiday, school administrators are doing their best to make sure viruses don't come through their doors. WCBI's Parker King visited South Lamar School to find out what they're doing to keep their school flu-free.
The number of people catching the flu continues to rise. At South Lamar School, class starts back up, and teachers try to keep their students from being a part of those numbers.
You hear about things that hospitals are having to do to quarantine and to keep it from spreading to some of their patients and things like that. And, well, you know, school-wide, we're just providing as much stuff as we can for our students.
To fight the foreseeable outbreak, school nurse Michelle Crowley sent out flyers to county families before students left for the holidays.
Comparing the signs and symptoms of a cold compared to the flu, and sending it out to all the parents in the county. And then, you know, we've been trying to monitor kids if they're running fever or having any kind of problems like coughing continuously.
South Lamar isn't taking any chances this flu season and has installed hand sanitizer dispensers into all of their hallways.
Inside of classrooms, teachers make sure high-traffic surfaces are cleaned regularly.
During the day, we make sure that we wash with soap and water. After school, I make sure that I wipe down the desk with Clorox wipe, and then I use Clorox wipes on surfaces such as the doorknobs, the pencil sharpeners, just things that the kids touch throughout the day.
South Lamar has dealt with viruses before. Constant reminders,
guys, make sure you're washing your hands and using Germex,
can keep an outbreak from happening.
We're aware of when it hits a school or hits a hospital, you know, a virus of some type.
We're in such close proximity throughout the day, you know, even a simple sneeze can spread germs throughout the classroom.
But so far, the precautions seem to be working.
We haven't seen a huge impact here at the school. Hopefully some of the things that we're doing will prevent that.
In Lamar County, Parker King, WCBI News.
School nurse Michelle Crowley asks parents to keep their kids home if they're showing any symptoms of the flu or the common cold, and visit your local doctor. Our seasonal flu epidemic is causing one hospital to restrict the number of people inside their healthcare facility. The Tupelo's North Mississippi Medical Center is allowing one designated family member or caregiver to visit a patient. No children under the age of 14 will be allowed to see anyone that has been admitted to the hospital. The goal is to prevent the spread of flu to hospitalized patients. Visitors with flu-like symptoms will not be allowed in the facility.
Misty and murky in West Alabama at Durham's Pharmacy in Vernon. Some low clouds there and a little bit of light shower activity in parts of North Mississippi. There's a live look in Tupelo, the Your Health Insurance Camera Network. Full forecast is next.
First Alert Forecast with Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson.
Good to see you this evening. If you're watching this broadcast, you're not a college football fan. Great to have you tonight with us here at WCBI. All right, our Alpha Insurance time lapse from Tupelo today. Low clouds. We've had some showers around, some needed moisture. We'll take that. It's been pretty dry for the last couple of months, so any rain is welcome. You can see, let's go back to the old radar. You can see right now a little bit of light rain. Some of this is just drizzle and mist shifting back from Alabama into parts of North Mississippi. Now, this is what we had today, or at least as far as the last 24 hours. Some spots a quarter of an inch to a half inch, some spots approaching an inch, some spots a little bit more so than an inch over the last 24 hours. We love to see that. Most of the rain now shifting to our east. But look at this, all of this black right here. I've changed up the satellite, and all of that dark black right there, that is low cloud cover, and those low clouds are going nowhere tonight. And really, for the next couple of days, they will be hard to scrub out of here. So we are advertising low and mid 50s across our region tomorrow. Some of these numbers may be very optimistic with the low clouds we do expect, but in general, it should be a little bit warmer than what we had today. Again, we stayed in the mid to upper 40s today. We're going to go with 40s in the morning with that cloud cover, and then some low to mid 50s during the course of the afternoon. Some areas of mist, some drizzle still possible during the day. Low 60s on Wednesday, very similar to tomorrow, but it should be a little bit warmer, and then warmer yet on Thursday as our rain chances ramp up into the afternoon. Those rain chances go up more so Thursday night into Friday morning. You can see our next system way out here across the Pacific right there. For reference, there's western parts of California, the coast right there. And this energy is going to be crossing the Rockies and getting into plains and eventually down here in the southeast as we get into late Thursday and Friday. So let me show you that with Futurecast. All of that gray right there, those low clouds, and notice how they will be sticking around tonight and tomorrow. But also notice there could be one of those isolated showers or a patch of drizzle or mist or something for tomorrow and Wednesday. There's that gray for Wednesday too. So a lot of low clouds for the next couple of days. Even into Thursday, as that next system comes on in, rain chances go up. And then on the back side of it, we may see some of that rain switch over to a little bit of wet snow sometime Friday morning into the afternoon. Now that's still pretty uncertain here. This is still Monday. We have a couple of more days to watch that system evolve. There will be a nice big dip in the jet stream here as we get into the weekend, and that does mean much cooler temperatures for the upcoming weekend. We're looking at 50s tomorrow, 60s Wednesday and Thursday, probably early Friday too, 60s, and then we will fall into the 40s and 30s. And we're not advertising officially that chance for some wet snow here on Friday, but that is possible. Alex will have the update for you tomorrow on WCBI Sunrise. Behind that system, though, we do know more sunshine, Scott, and it will be much colder. We fall back into the 30s this weekend for highs with lows in the low 20s.
It's not over yet. Tom has the latest from Atlanta and college football national championship a little bit later in sports.
WCBI News at 10 with Scott Martin.
Blood donations help save lives every day. We learn more on the importance of blood donations in our Health Talk with Baptist.
Hi, I'm Sandy Kilburn, medical technologist and supervisor of the blood bank at Baptist Memorial Hospital Golden Triangle. I want to talk to you about the importance of donating blood. Why are blood donors important? Here are some statistics. Every 2 seconds, someone in the United States needs blood. More than 38,000 donations are needed every day. 1 of every 10 hospital admissions needs blood. About 14 million units of blood are transfused each year in the United States. Nearly 21 million blood components are transfused each year in the United States. It is estimated that sickle cell disease affects 90 to 100,000 people in the United States. About 1,000 babies are born with the disease each year. Sickle cell patients can require frequent blood transfusions throughout their lives. More than 1 million people are diagnosed with cancer each year and require almost daily transfusions during their chemotherapy treatments. The blood used in an emergency is already on the shelves before the event occurs. A single car accident victim can require as many as 100 units of blood. The blood type most often requested by hospitals is type O. Join us next time for Health Talk with Baptist when we will discuss some myths about blood donation.
Mail your topic suggestions to healthtalk@wcbi.com. Health Talk has been brought to you by Baptist Memorial Hospital Golden Triangle.
High school hoops heating up on Championship Monday. Highlights and national championship update next in sports.
Sports with Tom Ebel.
Yet another major championship will belong to the SEC after tonight. Women's basketball with South Carolina, Mississippi State, baseball with LSU and Florida, and now football. Bama and Georgia battling it out. We're in the fourth quarter, and Alabama is driving. Right now it is 3rd and 6 at Georgia's 12-yard line. Folks, it's been mayhem in the second half. Georgia was up 13-0 at halftime. Alabama's offense was stagnant. So what does Nick Saban do? He throws in true freshman Tua Tagovailoa, who led Bama's only touchdown drive to this point. Alabama was able to pick up an interception, and that would lead to a field goal. So it's 20-10 as far as we know right now. Georgia leading, and Atlanta, or I should say Georgia sports team leading. No lead is safe. We'll see how this goes. It's been all Manico Hardman in this one for Georgia. He has a rushing touchdown and a receiving touchdown. So who knows? We'll have all the highlights and recap coming up on Sunrise, being as the game is still going on right now, and we can't really show anything. So I apologize. But we'll go over to women's hoops. Both Mississippi State and Ole Miss picking up big wins this weekend and looking to stay strong with a big week as conference play heats up. First for Mississippi State, undefeated 17-0, 3-0 in the SEC. Egg Bowl hoops in Starkville coming up on Thursday versus Ole Miss. And then the schedule favorable for Mississippi State. At home against Alabama, at home against Florida. But the one sandwiched in there is that road trip against undefeated Tennessee. They could be, we'll see if they're both undefeated at this time next week, but that could be a heck of a matchup in Knoxville. But also for Ole Miss, man, they have a grueling schedule. So they played South Carolina 4 days ago. They go to Mississippi State Thursday. They play at home against Missouri, who just defeated South Carolina this weekend. Then they go to Florida, who they just beat in double overtime. And then they play Tennessee at Tennessee, only to face Mississippi State the week after that. So Matt Insel's squad has a big test ahead of them to prove if they are for real. Then to the men's side, Mississippi State coming off that loss against Ole Miss on Saturday. They'll go to Florida coming up on Wednesday, then against Auburn at home. Big matchup for the Bulldogs to get inside the hump against 22. They're newly ranked this year, or this moment for so far this year. Then Vandy at home. Then they travel to Alabama to take on a talented Crimson Tide squad. And then for Ole Miss, hey, they're coming off some good momentum after the Mississippi State win. They'll take on Auburn tomorrow at Auburn, so we'll see if Ole Miss can pick up a big ranked win. Then they go at their home against Florida. Then they have 2 really tough tests at Texas A&M, and then after that going at Arkansas, who's one of the best teams, says the RPI, which factors into the NCAA tournament. Arkansas was one of the top teams before Mississippi State beat them, but Arkansas still toward the top of that. They were just ranked last week. So Ole Miss and Mississippi State, some put-up or shut-up games coming up this week to prove their SEC medal. Let's go over to Amory for some hoops. Girls facing Baldwin, fourth quarter. Baldwin up 1. Good one here. Amari Anderson's finding Iana Reagan inside. Gets the shot to go. Lady Bearcats, they're up 3 in the fourth. Amory would answer though. Madison Wax finds Candace Shaw at the top of the key for 3. Nothing but nylon. Man, that didn't even touch rim. Ties the ball game at 33. But back comes Baldwin in transition. Iana Reagan drives baseline. That's a shooter's roll there. Gets the shot to go. But more from Amory. Back and forth in the fourth we go. Lauren Hayes gets this ball down low, turns, gets the shot to go. It'd be a nail biter, but Baldwin gets the W over Amory, 47-44. To the boys, same action. Bearcats, Panthers. Let's get it popping. Early for Amory, TJ Wallace. Look at the crossover. Yikes. Puts my man on skates, drains the triple. Panthers lead early on, but Baldwin's turn. Off the fast break, Ethan Carmichael finds Riley Horde in transition for the layup for 2. And back comes Amory. Isaiah Thompson's going to find Jeremiah Wallace in the corner. Hand in his face, doesn't matter. He'll take all 3 of those from deep. So Amory leading, but later on for the Panthers, not done yet. Jeremiah Wallace driving. He would miss the jumper here. Nice behind the back dribble, missed the jumper, but there's Camden Parks right there to clean up the mess. Big fella off the tin, off the window for 2. Amory able to split tonight's boys and girls matchup as Amory gets the W over Baldwin, 58-45. That's it for sports for tonight. Again, we'll recap the national championship for you coming up on WCBI Sunrise. Tune in then. We'll be talking about it a lot more coming up tomorrow as well. We'll have a last year forecast coming up next.
Here's our 7-day forecast. We are looking at some 50s tomorrow, 60s return Wednesday. Better rain chance sometime late Thursday and early Friday, and can't rule out a few snowflakes here Friday. We'll fine-tune that forecast, but it will be colder this weekend. But enjoy the mild weather for the next few days with the clouds.
I'll be ready to see the sun, though, by the time the weekend gets
You know,
here,
pick your poison here. Sunny and colder, warm and cloudy.
Right. Thanks, Keith. Thanks for watching. Have a good night. We'll see you tomorrow.